Eldridge Hollow was a place out of time. The houses were hunched and crooked. The trees seemed to press closer than they should. Whispers followed you down the lanes. Eldridge Hollow had a curse. Everyone who lived there knew the stories. They spoke of a vengeful spirit, a powerful sorceress wronged by love. She cast a spell on the night of a blood moon, trapping the villagers in a ghostly half-life. Only the breaking of the curse could free them. The curse was woven into the very fabric of the village. It was in the rustle of the wind and the creak of the floorboards. It was in the hollow echoes that followed your footsteps and the way your breath seemed to catch in your throat when the sun began to set. Eldridge Hollow held its breath, waiting for the night the curse could be broken. Ella had grown up on these tales, yet she'd always considered them just that, tales. Stories told to children to keep them in at night. She didn't believe in curses or vengeful spirits.
I was practical. I liked things I could see and touch. Give me a sturdy pair of boots and a good climbing tree, and I was happy. The unseen world held no fascination for me.
The villagers would tell their stories, their eyes wide with fear. But Ella would just shake her head and laugh.
Ghosts and curses aren't real. They are just stories. They are shadows and whispers, nothing more.
Then came the night of the blood moon. The air thrummed with a strange energy. It was subtle at first, a low vibration that resonated deep in Ella's chest. The sky, already dusk-painted, began to bleed a deep crimson. The hum grew stronger, pulling at Ella, urging her towards the forest that bordered Eldridge Hollow. It was an insistent pull, a siren song that vibrated in her very bones.
Fear pricked at me, but curiosity was a powerful force.
Ella walked towards the sound. Each step was hesitant, unsure. But the hum drew her forward, an invisible thread guiding her deeper and deeper into the forest. The trees pressed closer, their branches twisting like gnarled fingers overhead. Deeper and deeper she walked. The blood moon painted the forest floor in eerie hues of red and black. Finally she reached a clearing. In the center stood an ancient oak, its trunk hollowed with age. The hum was strongest here. It seemed to emanate from the heart of the oak. As Ella drew closer, she saw it. A mirror nestled within the hollow of the tree. It glowed with an otherworldly light, reflecting not her image, but a swirling vortex of mist and shadows.
Without thinking, almost against my will, I reached out.
Her fingers brushed the cool surface of the glass. A jolt, a feeling of being pulled through cobwebs, and then everything went black. Ella gasped. She was no longer in the forest. She stood in a place of ethereal beauty and terrible sadness. The trees shimmered with a silvery light. The air was filled with the scent of wildflowers, but the colors seemed washed out, faded. And there were people, hundreds of them. They drifted through the landscape like smoke, their forms insubstantial, their voices nothing more than heartbroken whispers. Ella was surrounded by ghosts. Fear threatened to consume her, but the sorrow in their eyes held her rooted to the spot. This was Eldridge Hollow, but not as she knew it. This was the ghostly echo of the village, trapped in the spectral realm of the curse.
Then she saw her, the spectral queen.
She was a figure of immense sadness and terrifying beauty. Her eyes held the weight of centuries, reflecting the pain of her trapped existence. The queen explained the curse. She told Ella of her lover, betrayed and murdered by the villagers. In her grief she had cursed them all, trapping them between the world of the living and the dead. Only an act of pure love, a sacrifice freely given, could break the curse.
"There is a locket," the queen whispered, her voice like the chime of a distant bell. "A locket that holds the last tear I shed for my lost love. Bring it to me, child. Only then can my anger be appeased."
Section 7, The Locket of Legends.
The locket.
Ella knew exactly where to find it. It was a family heirloom, passed down from generation to generation. Her grandmother had told her stories, whispering of its magic, of its connection to the curse, but Ella had dismissed it as another fantastical tale. Now, she knew the truth.
The locket was the key to breaking the curse. I have to get back to the real Eldridge Hollow, back to my grandmother's house where the locket lay locked away, waiting to fulfill its destiny.
The spectral queen pointed to the shimmering oak tree at the edge of the spectral village.
The portal will only remain open until dawn. You must hurry, child. Time is your enemy.
Section 8. Race Against the Rising Sun. The journey back through the mirror was a blur. Ella stumbled out of the hollow oak, the forest air cold and damp against her skin. The blood moon hung low in the sky, its crimson light fading to a dull orange. Dawn was close. She had to hurry.
The locket is my only hope. The only hope for the trapped spirits of Eldridge Hollow.
The hum was gone, replaced by the frantic beating of her own heart. Branches whipped at her face, thorns tore at her clothes, but she didn't stop. She could feel time slipping away, each breath a victory in a race against the rising sun. Section 9. Breaking the Bonds of Eldridge Hollow. She burst into her grandmother's house, her chest heaving. The old woman sat by the fire, a knowing smile on her lips. She had been waiting. She handed Ella a small velvet box.
Go, child, break the curse, free Eldridge Hollow.
Inside the box lay the locket. It was cold in her hand, radiating an eerie chill. She clutched it tight and ran back to the clearing, back to the hollow oak, back to the spectral realm. The spectral queen was waiting. As Ella placed the locket in her outstretched hand, a blinding light filled the spectral village. The air crackled with energy. The spectral figures gasped, their forms solidifying, becoming whole. Section 10. The Girl Who Believed. The first rays of dawn broke through the trees. The ghostly realm shimmered, then faded away, leaving Ella standing in the familiar clearing. The ancient oak stood sentinel, the mirror within its hollow, dark and lifeless. The curse was broken. The villagers were free. Eldridge Hollow was no longer a place of shadows and whispers. The air was lighter. The trees seemed to stand taller, the houses no longer hunched and defeated. Ella walked back to the village, the rising sun warm on her face. She was no longer the girl who didn't believe. She had looked into the heart of the curse and emerged victorious.
I am the girl who believed. I am the girl who saved Eldridge Hollow.